Welcome to Best of the Worst, a celebration of the very best of the very bad. We'll be looking at everything from the very worst celebrity sightings to the worst use of a watermelon, not to mention this, the worst place to park a van full of Ming vases. So let's welcome our guest this week on David Mitchell's team, comedian Alan Carr. And with Johnny Vaughan tonight, DJ and presenter Sarah Cox. Round one is Pick the Worst, in which the teams try to pick the worst from a number of options. Once they've made their choices, the audience votes, and the team that the audience agrees with gets the points. Tonight we're picking the worst race, and our contenders are the 50-kilometre walking race, the snail race, the boat race, and this greyhound race.
Is that the year they've tried to do the boat race without the boats?
It's really nice that all the people have turned up to see posh people drown.
Just to make sure. It'd be interesting to know when the last person died during the boat race. When was the last drowning?
Gee, I don't think it's ever happened.
Well, how can it expect to be successful in the age of reality TV without a few deaths?
The 50-kilometre walking race, I would think, is the shittest ever event. And I'll tell you why. You don't do it at school, no one does. Because no child thinks, when I grow up, I want to walk like a guy who's got really bad problems with his arse.
What's wrong with this picture?
No one's turned up, have they? Even the people with the water have gone, sod it, they're walking.
Is that a walking race where someone has incorrectly walked?
You're absolutely right.
Is it the guy in front who's just lifted his legs off a little bit too much?
This is right, yeah. The rule is you have to have at least 1 foot in contact with the ground at any time.
Yes, but if they're idiots for doing that, who is the twat that follows them for 50 miles to check all their feet are in contact with the ground? That's the lowest of the sporting umpiring world.
You see, I think they don't have anyone like that, and they all walk weirdly out of the stadium and then leg it, and then walk weirdly in the stadium.
Like in school where it's like, stop running in the corridors, and you do that funny kind of like, I'm not running.
Maybe they were the kids who showed promise.
Exactly.
Walk in the corridor. Mind you, he shows promise as a walker.
I'm going to bring you to the snail racing.
Those guys know they're being photographed.
Yes.
They're thinking, this is a wacky occasion. Yeah. We'll put intense expressions on our faces. Look at the stupid little stadium thing they've done. What the hell's that? If this is a sport worthy of their attention, they should build a grandstand they themselves can sit in. Not a grandstand for other snails.
Yes.
They've not marketed it well because they've sold no seats at all to any slugs or any other because the stand's completely empty.
London's first professional snail race was started by John McCririck with the phrase ready, steady, slow. Which is odd, you'd have thought they might have got him to say something funny. Monkey and greyhound.
OK, monkey and greyhound.
It's
Funny
a
enough,
classic.
what you're looking at there was the forerunner for traditional greyhound racing. But then it turned out that the greyhounds used to hate the monkeys, and that's why it's so heavily muzzled. Because that greyhound wants to eat the monkey. So they just thought, sod this, what we'll do is we'll just take the monkeys off the greyhounds, we'll just have the monkeys bait them up with sticks. They just bait them up with sticks. No, I'm kidding. I'm not kidding, this is exactly...
Ancient enemies, of course, the monkey and the greyhound. Whole areas of Africa were laid waste by the great monkey versus greyhound wars.
An age-old question. Humans spank the monkey. It's nice to know that monkeys spank the dog. Monkey said it's off to spank the dog, and that's where it came from.
Racing monkeys on greyhounds was set up in Florida in the 1930s. Of course, for Americans, a monkey on top of a dog is a sport. For Koreans, it's set menu B. Any thoughts on what else we might have included?
Can I mention horse racing? I think the fundamental problem with it is that it depends entirely on gambling. Now, when people say that we should gamble on something, they use the phrase, let's make this interesting. Now, I say, let's not make this interesting. Let's do something interesting. Let's do something you don't have to bet money on in order for it to be interesting. Yeah, this was pretty tedious, these horses going along, but now I'm completely ruined if that horse doesn't win, and actually it's holding my attention. Well, surprise, surprise. Why don't you just cut your own wrist and see if you get to the hospital in time?
But can I just also say in horse racing's defence that it is massive on Channel 4, and we're right behind it. I think the father's race, for me, is the worst of races.
Have you done those?
Yes,
I've got the mothers. I've got it coming to me in a few years.
Nightmare. The pressure. They've done the egg and spoon. They've done the sack race. They've done the three-legged.
Really sporty dad as well as that. Oh.
Yeah, he's limbering up, warming up his hammies.
It's all those kind of ones like egg and spoon, beanbag, three-legged race. I ate all those races because for me, I was rubbish at cricket, rugby, football, so don't make up stuff for me to be shit at. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. When I won that egg and spoon, yeah? No, it was an awesome moment in my life. My point is that was the race I was really good at, was egg and spoon. Why does it suddenly stop when you're 9? Why don't they suddenly say, no, you've had done with that now? Why don't they take it up to Olympic level? Yeah. Let's see what some egg and spooners can do. No wonder we're so shit when it comes to the Olympics, because all our kids have trained to do sport, they don't fucking do that.
How freaky would that be, though, in a marathon? There's a Kenyan running, and she looks to her left, and there's a man with an egg and spoon. Yeah.
Maybe the egg and the spoon is what's missing from the speed walking. Because instead of having the guys looking at their ankles, sometimes if they're both off the ground, you just say, if the egg falls off, you're disqualified.
Dave, you've tied that up brilliantly, haven't you? Because we finished where we started, it's a natural coda, beautiful.
And your remark about it forms a framing device.
It's wonderful.
OK, so what's the worst then, team?
I am drawn to that one with that, monkey. It's just the monkey's face. He looks so pissed off, doesn't he?
No, that's face-focused.
The dog must be really confused, because dogs essentially have got the wrong end of the stick about everything anyway. When you own a dog, the dog thinks he's in some kind of pack with you, and therefore should attack postmen and not attack you. Dogs are idiots. I could outsmart any dog. But should we go for that one, then?
I think so, yeah that monkey.
OK, the greyhound.
Well, Coxy and I think you're fundamentally wrong.
Yeah.
Firstly, if that was on telly, I would watch it. Would you? Oh, I'd watch monkeys, definitely, on greyhounds. I'd watch it all day. I'd buy videos, I'd go there. We'd have a favourite monkey. We might even get involved, Sarah and I, with breeding.
Yeah. Is that an offer?
You, me and a monkey.
I think muzzles are quite sexy anyway.
I'd go more and put them in the full rubber head mask. Both of them.
And just before the trap's open, they like unzip the eyes and they're like, wait, we're on.
But they unleash the gift. Strap him to the dog.
I don't think it's fair to say that that's a good form of racing just because it's the one most likely to break down into some sort of cross-species gangbang. God knows the Oxbridge rowers have probably been in and out of each other's arses for the whole training period.
OK. That's why we're not picking that one. We're saying walking. Because none of us have ever watched it. It's for people who are no good at any other sports. It involves the lowest form of referee. These people actually think they're involved in a sport. That monkey on the greyhound, he knows he is. We're confident the audience will back us up.
Well, what with all the you've managed to get them to say to you, I think you're right. I'm feeling absolutely screwed. Remember, audience, a vote for us is a vote for the people who lose.
To score your points, the audience needs to agree with you, so let's see what they say. Audience, vote now.
I know they'll do the right thing.
And I can tell you that the worst race is walking. Now it's time for our best of the worst, bottom 5. This week, a rundown of the very worst celebrity sightings. Famous faces spotted in everyday objects. At number 5, who is this in a tree in Wiltshire?
I think as everything that looks like everything, Elvis.
There's a touch of maybe Gary Glitter before he shaved it all off. Well, before he shaved it all off, before he removed it.
Easy.
Sorry, well, I'm saying he's maybe bald. There have been worse things said about him.
Dave, do you feel slightly cheated that we didn't get the glitter-cution?